Yeah, every day I do this, never feel loose. And when I get up in the game, y'all be improved. A real problem, but I solve them all facts proof. And if you think I'm gon' fold, then you talking fool. Yeah, y'all wanna win, let me spin, boy. All dunks aside, I'm super fly like I'm hanging off the rim, boy. I've been winning for my kinfolk, and I put on for my city from the intro. Let's go.
I put that time in, my pride is out the roof, I get that grind in. So I'ma tell the truth, I get my grind on. You know the pressure make all of these diamonds. I tell them get back, step back, fast track, big lap, big facts. I'm past that, yeah. I'm trying to get ahead, get out the way. Now move forward, stand back. Now break away, I'm about to bring it. I ain't never backing down. Took a step up to the plate. For my city, for my town. I do whatever it takes. I'ma go and get this round. I'ma go all of the round. I ain't never backing down. Took a step up to the plate. For my city, for my town. I do whatever it takes.
This is a mirror match, which means it's not just about the win, but about your pride as a player too. This is a must-win fight. The fight's now underway. This is Vicious with the play-by-play. Checking how their opponent reacts to fireballs. Okay, we're in the early stages of the round. Player 2 with the life lead. A dangerous range here. You don't want to get jumped on a long recovery move, or you're gonna eat tons of damage. What a clutch side switch there. Now they need to capitalize on this chance. Player 2 chases them down. Sticks the burnout. Expect the tempo of the match. The projectile connects, not giving the opponent any chances. Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Opts to create space to start. They've both showed their hands a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. Jumps up, grabs them. Both fighters are looking for a way to get in, but there's still time to feel out the situation. Okay, creating some space here. Burns the drive gauge. Player 1 can't use any drive moves without burning out. Oh, burnout triggered. Player 1 in dire straits with burnout. Jumps in. Breaks those shins. Zanku Hadouken. Knockdown and Zanku Hado drops them from the air. Player goes to the air. Oh, snipe! Drives and back misses. Oh my god, they just took finishes with the throw. Player 2 is the last fighter standing. It's a mirror match. There's gonna be a lot of pride on the line for this one. Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. Blocks the jump in. Their drive gauge was running low, but they use an overdrive art anyway just to show they're not gun-shy. The throw hits. Now the fun begins. Player 2 has used up all of their drive gauge. The drive gauge is completely empty, meaning their ability to block is also weak. A drive rush to try and keep up the attack. What's the play here? At this range, many attacks can connect if you stick something out. The neutral game is very important here. Neither fighter is willing to back down from this exchange. Fires off an overdrive. The comeback's gonna be tough now. Can they do it? Player 1 can't afford to get hit again, but still has a chance to KO. Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. They both showed their hands a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. Zanku Hadouken! That's a big gap. Who's going to close it? Zanku Hado! Goes for the massage! Wow, that's some big-time damage there. Player 2 has a slight life lead. Oboro hits! Akuma looking to play hide and seek. Both fighters planning something? Fireball into the corner. Experiencing burnout. KO. Player 2 gained a hard-fought victory there. How's this match gonna shake out? It's gonna be exciting to see.
Round 1.
All right, first round. What's going to happen? Checks with the projectile. It's the start of the round. How will they start their approach? On dangerous turf. Easy to get tagged at this range. The low kick connects. Player 2 has the life lead. Goes with the projectile to pressure the opponent. Big low reaching heavy. Player 2 creates a good corner opportunity. Spends the gauge on the drive rush. In a dire situation, they can't afford any mistakes. Player 1 can't afford to get hit again, but still has a chance to... Oh, burnout triggered! This is the range intercepts. Slick anti-air finish. Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Closes the gap. The next round is beginning. What's gonna happen now? Jumps in. Jinrai kick for a mix-up. Player 1 has the life lead. Can they use it? Scrapping it out up close. A quick breather. Looks like they want to put a new spin on things with that fireball. Gouki Hadouken. Both fighters planning something? This can lead to some big damage. Throw is denied. What a read. Oh my God. Oh, burnout. That final push at the end paid off in spades. When you have a chance to finish things, you gotta take it. This isn't about just winning the match. Pride and bragging rights are at stake here. Both fighters will need to bring their A game to the table. Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? The combo's there. Their drive gauge was running low, but they use an overdrive art anyway just to show they're not gunshot. Player 2 with the life lead. Okay, both fighters have taken a long step back. They're both looking to reassess the fight. Player 2 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. Both of them have entered burnout state, which will drastically change their approach to the fight. Player 1 chases them down. Sticks the combo. To come from the brink like that? What a comeback! Player 1 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Player 2 had a hard time managing their drive gauge last round, and I'm sure they're aware that they need to start adapting. Zones with the fireball. Still slugging it out at this range. A quick breather. Anti-air drops them. Their life is hanging by a thread. They gotta lean heavily on their drive moves now. Keeps fighting ahead even with a depleted drive gauge. Medium kick. Goes low. Overhead. Looking for a chance. Tries to make something happen with an overdrive arc. Life lead is there, but just don't flatline them. This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks. Decides not to rush in without a plan. The last round. It's now or never. Grabs and throws them away. Anti-air in the clutch. Player 2 can't use any drive moves without burning out. Oh, burnout! Did they mean to do that? Player 2 is looking at a grim situation with burnout. And eats it. Dangerous range here. Pumps the brakes on the impact. This is gonna hurt. Ooh, you never know what can happen here. A jump? This can lead to some big damage. Super out of nowhere. The big brains of the competitor is unreal. I've seen a lot of fights in my day, but nothing even comes close to this one. Our fighters are ready to get down to it, so let's start the match and see what these warriors are capable of. Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Checking their opponent. Tries to bait him with the projectile. Well-timed command throw there. Uncomfortable space here. Can they clip each other on the edge? Definitely shuts out the jumping. Player 2 will be in a world of hurt if their drive gauge runs out. Plenty of life left in both fighters, but a big difference in drive. How can they use this to their advantage? Raise on the pressure with the projectile. Got their eye on the air. Taking stock. Player 1 is in a tight spot right now. Big low reaching heavy. Throws him. What's next? Snipes him out the air. Player 2 on the board first with a win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Steps back to start things off. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Big gap between the two fighters, so they throw out a fireball. Lots of watching from far that round. But is it all about to change? At this range, many attacks can connect if you stick something out. The neutral game is very important. Going in? Player 2 can build off this lead. Burnout! Expect the tempo of the match to change. Player 1 has an empty drive lead. This is a very precarious situation. Denies the jump, experiencing burnout. What'll happen here? Looking for a chance. Close range projectile. Zanku Hadouken. So, what's next? Barely blocks the jump in. This is gonna be bad news. Flashes them. Opts for the critical art. Shreds them with the critical. Such a smart play to go for in this situation. Fighting back against the odds and giving them a chance to win this. Player 2 can't use any drive moves. Gotta play it safe. Can they use their resources wisely to pick up the win here? Player 2, a fireball at that range? Player 2 was an absolute beast in that match. It's a mirror match. There's gonna be a lot of pride on the line for this one.
Round 1. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Are they trying to slow down the pace with a projectile? It's the start of the round. How will they start their approach? All right. On dangerous turf. Easy to get tagged at this range. Neither fighter can force the other to give up even an inch. They're being absolutely relentless with this fireball pressure in the corner. Uses the drive rush here to steal their turn. Gets the parry in and adds some pressure. Likely the KO! Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Big gap between the two fighters, so they throw out a fireball. Player 2 kept their drive gauge topped off through that round and still took the win. Guess they didn't need it. The jump in catches them, so they break forward to pressure the opponent. Player 2 will need to play it conservative until their drive is, burnout triggered. Player 2 will have to deal with this dangerous bout of burnout for a while. Zanku Hadouken zones with the fireball. They continue to battle it out in the middle of the stage. Player 1 brings the rain with the 10 levels in there. Player 2 gained a hard-fought victory there. And they've gone for the same character. Neither side's gonna want to lose this one.
Round 1. Fight.
The fight's now underway. This is Vicious with the play-by-play. You can use a drive rush like that there to maintain the pressure. They were ready for the air attack. Still slugging it out here. What's the play here? This is where things will get interesting as the damage starts to pile up on both fighters. Throws a fireball here, maybe as a simple zoning strat. Projectile to try and change the situation. Sticks the combo. KO. Player 2 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? They've both showed their hands a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. Parries the projectile. The fighters continue to check each other in the early going. Who will gain control of the match in the early going? Shoots off a fireball up close. Plenty of space between the fighters. Heats it up with a combo into super. The super doesn't hit. Doesn't miss a beat. Springs forward with a drive rush. The fighters return to the middle of the stage. Looks like they both relied a lot on their drive arms. Big throw, forward throw, laying the pressure on Thick. Perfect execution with the anti-air. I'm looking to tenderize those organs and overload. This is a critical moment. Both of them back off. They may be preparing for the final exchange. Fires off a Hadouken. Fires off the Missat. The projectile hits. Fantastic positioning on show during that round. This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks. Who's going to steal this win? Sakuhado adds a bit of OD spice. Player 2 with the lead. Will they go for offense or defense? Here comes a big time whip. Oh man, this is a scary range. Catches them out. Closes it out. Player 2 survived that tense mirror match. Oh, looks like these two have more beef than a Philly cheesesteak.
Round 1. Fight.
The fight's now underway. This is Vicious with the play-by-play. Tries to bait him with the projectile. Player 1 with the life lead. Lots of aggression from both sides. All right. Throws a fireball here, maybe as a simple zoning strat. Tries to keep the pressure on the opponent by zoning with fireball. Had the radar up and running. Player 2 creates a good corner opportunity. Both can end the round now, and the drive gauge disparity may come into play. Even the slightest has burnout. KO. Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. A brave forward jump there to start. They both showed their hands a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. Player 1 has a slight life lead. Checks him with the projectile. Going in. Oh, burnout triggered. Player 1 will look to apply pressure here. Gets out of there with the backdash. What'll happen here? Barely blocks the jumping. Drive rush to keep it going. Springs forward with the drive rush. KO! Player 1 took no time to finish that fight. What are we going to see transpire between these fighters? No one knows, but this is going to be a must-see match.
Round 1. Fight.
Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. Checks with the projectile. Both fighters are pretty much unscathed. Ooh, will they hit, whiff, or even charge in? Tricky territory here. Very nice anti-air there. They read their opponent like a book. Player 2 is just about out of drive after that. Uses the target combo to take a chunk of damage off the opponent. Player 2 is in burnout. Drives off the table. From up above. That's some big juicy damage on that counter hit. Player 2 has completely used all of their drive gauge, but this in there. Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Opts to create space to start. They've piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? This fight is just underway. What kind of game plan do they have? Takes a trip. Their spacing is so on point right now. But who's gonna blink first? Tries to bait out a reaction to a fireball. Player 2 will need to play it conservative until their drive refreshes. Keeping them away. Puts the super armor to good untouchable, impetuous, impregnable, and perfect. That was a clinic on how a solid neutral game wins matches. This is a mirror match, which means it's not just about the win, but about your pride as a player too. This is a must-win fight.
Round 1. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Tries to bait him with the projectile. Well-timed command throw there. Player 2 has the life lead. Lays on the pressure with the projectile. Taking stock. Blocks the jump in. Throws him. What's next? This is the range where things get messy. Can they utilize their reach or bait each other out? Hits with the overhead. The low doesn't connect. KO. Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. A brave forward jump there to start. They've piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? Player 2 had an impressive round while managing their drive gauge. They'll want to carry that momentum into the next round. What'll happen here? The low heavy is denied. Dashes up. Oh, they're in the corner. Hits him with a stop and pop. Player 1 holding onto that corner advantage. With breather. Jumps up. This is gonna hurt. Experiencing burnout. Going in. Player 2 has clutch anti-air. Big time whip. Any mistake here is gonna be fatal. What a finish! This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks.
Final round. Fight.
Uses their drive gauge. Reads the jump in perfectly. All in with a rush. Player 1 won out those close scuffles, and now they gotta have a plan for the next round. Ooh, you never know what can happen here. Player 2 is burnt out, but they may have a plan here. Drive rush. Oh, they switch sides. Crowns them from above. Both sides getting ready. Goes to the air. Fires off a Hadouken. Forward rush. Looking for a hole. Hugs nothing but air. Wraps it up with a throw.
Gouki.
Player 2 comes away with the win. It's a mirror match. There's going to be a lot of pride on the line for this one.
Round 1. Fight.
All right, first round. What's going to happen? Tries to bait him with the projectile. Both fighters are pretty much unscathed. It's the start of the round. How will they start their approach? The fighters are at a standstill. What's going on through their heads? What's the play here? Good parry here to try and make something happen. Staves off the cross-up. Plenty of space between the two fighters, but who will decide to close the gap? Both fighters have no meter. Who's going to make the first move? Limited resources at hand right now. Takes a trip. Player 1 in that dangerous burnout state. Decides to meet them in the air. Player 1 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. At this range, many attacks can connect if you stick something out. The neutral game is very important. Oh, burnout on both sides? Taking stock. Good job blocking the jump in. They're showing us just how patient they can be. Life lead opens up. Zanku Hadouken! Experiencing KO! Player 1 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Starting off with fireballs right from the get-go. Uses the parry. Gets the parry in and adds some pressure. Still very early in the round. This fight is just underway. What kind of game plan do they have? Nails the anti-air. Okay, creating some space here. Drive rush to keep it going. Taking stock. Tries to bait out a reaction to a fireball. Tries to keep the pressure on. Oh, but oh, hits! Kuma looking to play hide and seek. What'll happen here? Player 2 will need to... burnout activates. Oh, burnout triggered. Goes for the fireball, which is very strong as all the throw connects. They return to center stage. Can they create an opportunity for themselves to drop them? Blocks it. You've got to be mindful of reach and jump-ins. Went for the chip kill. Player 1 gained a hard-fought victory there.